Hey friends, welcome to my garden. I'm so excited to give you a garden tour today. You will hear some roosters, sorry about that. But my name is Hannah Jo and I am the wife, mother, and homemaker here on our farm. And I'm really excited to share with you my happy place, the garden. So let's go get into it. Right here, we're at the east side of our garden, and it is neighboring the road in front of us and our neighbor's home. So what I wanted to do is make a little bit of a privacy barrier and also allow that privacy barrier to feed us and our chickens. So we have a ton of sunflowers. These are the Mammoth Giant and the Mongolian Gray from Baker Creek Seed Company, and I love them. I intermixed a lot of corn, the Golden Bantam, I believe, and the Blue Jade, which is a dwarf variety, and it's perfect for the first-time homesteaders. So I went ahead and placed that here along our fence line, and we're really excited to watch this grow. I have two peach trees, a Contender and a Reliance peach, along with some blueberries in their first 2 years, so we're not gonna get much from them. So behind me, I'm gonna start by showing you my in-ground garden. It is a 3-foot by 50-foot row, each of them. I have 6, so that gives a total of 150 square feet of growing space per bed, which with a grand total of 900 square feet of planting space for all of them. I'm really excited. They're doing great this year, and so far I'm loving my garlic crop. Last year we actually got 5 cloves of garlic out of the 300 that we planted, and that was a want moment. So feeling very blessed to have this amount of garlic behind me. So let's go ahead and see what's now the corn that I have in this row with the sunflowers, and we have some squash, are kind of leaning. We're out on the Idaho Prairie and we do get wind gusts, and last night we got a lot of wind gusts, so they're kind of leaning. We were going to try to figure out something to move forward with to hold them up, but until then, this is my 3 sisters method, or 4 sisters method, something like that, where we have the corn, the sunflower, and the squash all intermixed together. And once the corn gets a certain feet tall, I will actually go ahead through and plant some beans, so the beans can trellis up the corn, and the sunflowers bring pollinators, and then the squash over here does a good ground cover. So that's what I've got in this bed. And I've also succession sowed this out. So we did this at the beginning of the year. I just sowed these guys a couple weeks ago, and then these guys right here up at the front a little bit after that, and these guys right here just a couple days ago, so they're going to be coming up soon. Let's move on to the next bed. So the next 2 rows I'm actually going to talk about together because they are both tomatoes. Now with my tomatoes, we did go ahead and place in some peas. I don't recommend that. This garden actually is only about 2 months old because we just leveled it. If you guys are not familiar with that story, head over to my Instagram and check out the garden reno highlight, and that will kind of give you why we did what we did and how it was before, and obviously you're seeing what it looks like now. So moving forward, I put a ton of tomatoes in these beds. Paul Robeson, Cherokee Purple, Amish Paste, the San Marzano, something like that. And then, as always, once you plant a potato, you will always have potatoes, so there's some of those. And then if you want to come and grab back over on the east side of our garden, I'm going to share with you the 2 rows. I have garlic on your right, and I have 2 different varieties. I believe this is something Bulgarian. It is a soft neck variety, and I specifically got that because I wanted that very romantic braided garlic in my kitchen. So there's that right here, and they're doing really well. They're actually really decent sized. I did have to pull some up because of that wind knocked them over and broke the neck, so I didn't want any disease or anything to seep in before the harvest. But I will wait until the 2 bottom leaves are crunchy to harvest them completely, this entire row. We did plant all of these last September, so remember that when you are planting garlic, you have to get that in the year before. They need that good root stock all winter long in order to give you a good bulb. On on my side, this side right here on your left, is a failed crop. So we have a ton of contender beans, blue bush beans, something like that, and we just did not get very good germination. So you'll see it's very scarce right up here until we get all the way to the front side, and then you will see these taller garlic. These are the music garlics. Oh, I actually have a scape right here. Speaking of, if you see scapes, you want to pull those off, because what that will do is it'll take all the energy from the garlic creating this beautiful garlic flower into your bulb. So you want to go ahead and pick those, and you can just snap them off. This is amazing to make pesto, actually, really great. And I'm gonna go ahead and check these while we're talking about the garlic. So these are the music. They are the hard neck varieties. They provide the scapes. The soft neck varieties do not provide scapes. And of course, you have volunteer sunflowers. So I'm really enjoying the sunflowers. They bring me joy. So I left this one here because why not? So amongst the weeds and these failed beans, I had an idea of planting carrots. Carrots kind of need that covering for them to germinate, and they really do take a while. So as you can see here, I have a bunch of carrot little seedlings coming up, and this works great. So I'm actually going to continue to use this drip hose as a cover for my carrots, and I'm going to continue this row out. You'll have to let me know in the comments below what you think I should pair with the carrots in this bed, because as of right now, it's getting a little hydrophobic from the sun and no foliage, so I've got to put something in there. What I have here in the last bed that I'm going to show you, the in-ground bed, of course, is my cucumber crop. Now, I learned last year being on the prairie here, the soil gets hydrophobic very quickly because we get baked in the summer, okay? So what I wanted to do for my cucumbers is create some cover crops. I planted a lot of nasturtiums, and I planted a lot of dwarf marigolds and zinnias, the smaller kind, the inch wise. You know, sometimes you can get the 24 to 36 inch, or you can get the 12 to 18 inch, and those are the ones that I planted in this bed. However, being in a desert, we get funky weather, and 2 weeks ago we got a freeze. So unfortunately I did lose half of my cucumber crop, but I did get some in that survived, so thank you God. And we have, of course, more potatoes, pickling varieties as well as market varieties, or those really beautiful slicing cucumbers that we want to place into salads. We also have some lemon cucumbers, and the silver slicers from Hudson Valley Seed Company. That is a beautiful, beautiful, it's just really appealing when you put it on a plate for someone in their salad and they've never seen it before, so that's really fun. And then as always, the kids really love those lemon cucumbers, those little yellow balls. So that's really fun. We're gonna go ahead and move into our 1x6, I believe, our raised beds, and then we will show you our larger raised beds. If you are a first-time gardener, please be very prepared that you are going to fail. What started me out and getting my green thumb, my need to get my hands in the dirt, was actually trading my labor for food for my family and working under a market gardener. And I learned so much, but I still failed. And that's okay, because I now know with my climate when to not place out peppers, and also to start them in January because they are so puny. The freak weather here has just stunted them completely, and they have not they have not thrived at all. So this is a failed crop. We will not get peppers this year, but thank God for farmers markets and other farmers that I can purchase crop from them. When you have kids grow gardens, they can become a little eclectic, but it's really beautiful to see some of the imagination that they start out with. So this is what she did first. She put a bunch of chamomile in here, and it's coming up obviously in funky clusters with some interesting mushrooms. Do you know what this is? Have no idea. Okay, we've got some fun tomatoes over here with some tomato cages. We're gonna have to tie these guys up. They are dwarf variety. I believe they are Tommy Toes, but let's take a look at them. Just kidding, they're 42-day tomatoes. Those are from M.I. Gardner, Luke at M.I. Gardner. And the next bed is such a beautiful picture because this is something close to my daughter's heart, is flowers. And I enjoy them as well, but I've given her that because, again, when you allow children to be in a space that you love to be in, you get to have that quality time and that bonding. And I'm excited to tell her this morning that she's got buds on her flowers. And so you can kind of see the little grids she did, and it's so fun. It worked out great. Unfortunately though, that frost kind of killed back these marigolds, so we probably won't get much from them. And these zinnias look a little rough, but we've got fennel, zinnias, marigolds. We've got some, I think these are bachelor buttons, and I'm excited to see what else grows here. This is also a great opportunity to talk about soil. I did purchase some on sale soil, and this is kind of what happens when you do that. It was a little sandy, and my crops here don't care for that. So I know that moving forward, not to purchase a sandier soil on sale to save some money. I'm gonna have to come in here with some other stuff, some natural bark and lots of fertilizer and lots of manure, and kind of help these guys succeed. But some of these radishes are going to seed. We're gonna have to take those guys out, give them to the chickens or the rabbits. And we've got tons of beets, lots of radishes that do need to be picked. We've got some collard greens, tons of fennel. This is amazing. These are actually placed out really well for a 10-year-old, so I'm really proud of her. And then also these carrots are doing great, along with some lettuce and I think some cilantro and onions, so we'll see. Along with some more radishes that are actually pretty decent size. Those are some great radishes. We've got some bull's blood beets here that are not getting too big, but I think after we harvest these radishes, they'll come up. We've got some carrots here that need to be thinned out, some beautiful alyssum, collard greens, tons of cut and come again lettuce, and of course a tomato in the center. So again, please enjoy your garden spaces with your children, and if you can, sacrifice a bed or two to just help them explore their creativity through gardening. I want to pause real quick and say thank you for tuning in. Please like this video if you're enjoying this content so I can create more. And if you're new to me, I'm a member of God's Army, the Patriot Party. I'm a learner, avid learner, defender, whole food creator, and self-reliance seeker. We are new to homesteading, as I have come out of working underneath my market gardener friend, and we're trying to do this on our own. So if you are a new homesteader and you want to learn from our failures, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to know more about our little farm here, holistic animal care, growing food, meal prepping, how to eat healthy, please go ahead and subscribe, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you. We're almost done with this garden tour, but before we end, I'm going to share with you a couple more beds. We have some tomatoes that are here. These are some cherry tomatoes. We will go ahead and put some more cattle panels, another garden bed, and wrap this around to have that full tunnel. We have some volunteer sunflowers that I just can't yank out because they are just so beautiful. Some onions, lots of carrots and basil that I've sprinkled out because, again, this bed had peppers in it and they just did not thrive. Moving forward, we still have some herbs and boysenberries in buckets here because I still do not have a place for them. And of course, my roses. I will be building this beautiful arch coming into our garden here, and that's what I'm trying to create here. And they have been a joy to see. They bloomed yesterday and I was so excited to see that. So I have some watermelon and some cantaloupe and some squashes in here. We're pretty behind, but we're gonna grow it anyways and see what comes of it. So if you hang around, you'll be able to see if we make it or fail. We've got some more cherry tomatoes, and this bed looks amazing. Cut and come again lettuce, which is great. Onions, tons of basil, cilantro, and kale, along with more herbs in the buckets. This bed over here did get hit by the frost, I feel like the worst. So I did lose a lot of crop out of here, but we have nasturtium, the provider bean, we have some loofah gourds, we also have some arugula, beets, chard, and some marigolds in the back that just didn't do well. I have horseradish right here in this bucket. and I have some lamb's ear along with some rosemary. And I have to say, the herbs are just not doing well this year. Last year they did absolutely exceptional because it was so hot and dry that when they did get water, I feel like they really put down really good roots. And what does a new gardener do? She rips them right out and puts them in a pot, and they are stunted. For Mother's Day, my husband and daughter actually purchased this green stalk for me. I wish I had these in my apartment. It's finally sprouting and I have a lot of goodies in here, so we'll see what comes of that. I'm really excited. And then behind me, we decided to take this really great masonry that came with the house and kind of turn it into this berry area. I don't know, but these are blackberries. They are providing their first year. My daughter is just avid on tasting one the first year. I know you're supposed to remove all of them, but sometimes you just have to give in for the kids. So behind me, we have the same fabric that is in the garden, and we went ahead and sacrificed this area of our yard because it's pretty decimated. We definitely purchased a barren land, and we're trying to bring that back, and bringing that back sometimes takes a couple seasons to do so. So what we're gonna do is we burned all the holes, and we're going to place all of those watermelon, squash, and cantaloupe starts in here, and hopefully we'll get a crop, but we'll see. Last but definitely not least, because we're Idahoans, we have our potatoes. Potatoes are amazing. They're a staple crop for us. They help us get through the long winters, and we are really excited with this tomato crop. We have succession sowed them, so we do have some more on the side of me that just haven't gotten to this size yet. They are starting to flower, and we're gonna wait until they kind of kill over to harvest. We harvested them last year right after they flowered, like a lot of people say to do so. And we noticed that we got a lot of really small potatoes, and those potatoes, if we left them in the ground, could have gotten a lot bigger. So that's what we're gonna do this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I enjoyed talking to you guys about something that I love absolutely so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.